Okay, so there's this cool thing that I found interesting. So this is an article published by NetCredit, by Jennifer Guring. It's posted February 1st, 2017, and it is a interesting look at 18 scientific reasons why the work week should be shorter. So this is pretty cool because if you don't know me, I'm always one who's about work weeks and labor. I'm interested in organized labor. So, throughout history, the current 40 hours a day was perpetuated during the Industrial Revolution, which states they think there should be 8 hours of labor, 8 hours of recreation, and 8 hours of rest. Pretty decent. It's a decent slogan. But the labor people who wanted to make it have an 8-hour workday, from 9 to 5, were wrong. It wasn't the best thing. So here are some benefits that they found, and they do cite their sources, by the way, at the bottom of the page. Okay. So health. They organized it into health, work performance, relationships, employee well-being. And I think that's it. So let's start with health. Number one, 6-hour days result in less sick leave. So Sweden seems to be the people who are experimenting this a lot more. But it turns out according to the Swedish experiment, having a 6-hour work day, okay, resulted in less sick leave. Something that this country needs to implement. Second, working long hours is dangerous for your health. Studies found that you have an increased, it says it doubles your chance actually of developing depression and having the risk of a stroke, which is quite bad. Three, working less allows for healthier choices. According to this, busy people often make unhealthy lifestyle choices. Working less would give us time to cook a healthy meal instead of going for fast food, which I can understand because you work for a long time, and by the time you get to your house, it's like 6 or 7 o'clock, and you don't really want to make a good meal for yourself. So why don't you just go to McDonald's, go to Cookout, go to Chick-fil-A and order some food. Now, I love Chick-fil-A. Don't get me wrong, but it's not the healthiest place in the world. And for the two that I just said, it does make sense. If you work a long time, it stresses you out. It takes away from your relationship time, your work-life balance. It makes you sad that you can't spend time with your kids if you have kids or with your spouse. I can understand developing depression, and you're usually healthier if you work less and you're less stressed out, so there's no need to take sick time. 4. People who work less exercise more. And it's true because you have more time to exercise now that you don't get home at 6 or 7 o'clock. Now onto the work performance category. Number 1, productivity is higher in countries where people work fewer hours. Countries such as Germany, who work about, okay, sorry about that. So, as it appears, productivity is higher in countries that work fewer hours. Germany is a very productive place. They have lots of exports. And Greece isn't as productive since the average Greek person works 2,000 hours a year, while in Germany it's 1,400 hours a year. Next, happier employees are more productive, which appears to make sense. It seems that nurses who work 6 hours were happier or more energetic about their work. In fact, they did 64% more activities with the residents. And this makes sense. The happier you are, the less struggles in your personal life that occur, the more you can focus on being productive about your work. Here's the interesting one. Unlimited time off results in higher performance. Companies that are trying out policies that give unlimited days off are experiencing boost in efficiency and productivity. Now that's pretty interesting, but I guess that's quite cool. We should aim towards that. A boost in efficiency and productivity would help our poor GDP growth here. We can do the same amount of work in 6 hours. Companies report that there is no decrease in output. This could be attributed to when there's less time to work, you tend to focus on what's important. So the conservative right-wingers who think that we shouldn't shrink in the workday because there'd be a decrease in output are just, as usual, wrong. It appears that you can focus more on what's important when the day is shorter. Okay? It turns out that also employers care more about achievement than hours. So employers say that their employees' accomplishments are way more important than the hours they spend on their work, and I think that's quite interesting. Here's something I'm especially thankful that we discovered: 6-hour days increase productivity. Swedish companies that are testing the 6-hour workday say it enhances creativity in employees. And creativity is important. It's not just about art, it's about problem solving and progress. You can really develop if you have the creativity, and you can really increase profits and productivity of the business if people are creative and discovering new ways to do old things, new, more efficient ways. Now on to relationships. Fewer work hours are better for our work and family life balance. 42% of employees say that work and family life interfere with each other, a lot or somewhat, as reported in a 2008 survey. Your workday is shorter, you can spend more time developing your family relations. 12. Parents who have more time with their children, parents who would have more time with their children. If you have a shorter workday, then you can spend more time with your kids. So if the workday was from 9 to 2 or 9 to 3, people would be better off. Because 75% of employed parents say they don't have enough time with their children. Instead of missing important development milestones and being there to see your child's accomplishments, parents are working. They shouldn't be doing that. They should be working from 9 to 3 or from 9 to 2 so they can go home and spend time with their kids when they get out of school. Partners would have more time together. It's not just the kids, 71% of employees that are married or living together so they don't have enough time with their significant other. If it's a shorter workday, you have more time to host dinners and date nights and go to activities together and perform things together. And that would definitely improve relationships, and maybe it might reduce the 50% divorce rate. Also, we can deal with personal messages after work. 6 in 10 working Americans respond to personal inquiries during work hours. With shorter, yet more focused workdays, people can leave this outside the office and focus on productivity. And that's always good. And now on to employee well-being. Less work means more time for ourselves. 59% of employees say that they are not having enough time for themselves, according to a 2008 survey. If we had more time for leisure, we can do our own accomplishments in the arts or in whatever we like to do with our time and have a better life. Because we'll feel like we not only accomplished our work goals, but our family and life goals. Because we'll not only have more time to spend with our family and our significant others, but we can have time to spend on ourselves. The accomplishment of hard work is enough leisure time. Employees stay with companies that allow them to work for less. Employee retention rates increase with a 4-hour work week. Noticed a CEO of a company that tested shorter work weeks. So if companies don't want to worry about losing their employees, pay them more and give them more time off. That way they will most likely stay because most places don't do that. Lower stress levels lead to happier employees. Not a surprise, since it's easier to maintain that work-life balance and to develop your family and your own relations. You have better well-being, and didn't we just say that the happier they are, the more productive they are anyway? So, lower stress levels caused by a shorter work week create happier employees, which are more productive than unhappy employees. And finally, More time for social activities improves well-being. So, what can we learn from this NetCredit article? We should make the work week shorter. That's what we should do, because due to all of these findings, it would be very great for the economy and for the people, and to provide that work-life balance that we really want. So there should be a 6-hour work day, somewhere between 4 and 6 hours of work, with 1 hour lunch breaks. We should have paid family and medical leave of about 64 weeks. We should also have paid vacation time of 1 month if you worked at the company for a year. We should have more hours for recreation. So the workday should be, if you're going to start it at 9 o'clock, go from 9 and end at 2 or 3 o'clock. So you leave 4, 5, 6, 7, and all that other time for people to develop their lives. And I think that will definitely improve the quality of life in this country. Because America is the only country that doesn't provide paid leave and paid vacation. It's the only country, not the only country, but it's one of 3 nations in the world that does not have paid family or medical leave for its people. And we're one of the only industrialized nations that don't have paid vacation. If conservatives are all about improving the economy, why don't they do these common sense policies? And I know why. Conservatism is about the past is great and the progress is bad. It always works to stay in tradition, never change. Even when new evidence comes up, nope, past is still better. That's what conservatism is. It's no progress, it's just staying in the past. You're not making policies to move forward, you're making policies to move backwards. And it's not what the country needs. So conservatives, you're basically just, as usual, a bunch of denialist, escapist people who don't know economic policy.